Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brendan Derone, Chief Distribution Officer with E4 Insurance Services. Today is August 26th, which means that next week is September. September being Life Insurance Awareness Month. And today we have Juli McNeely on. I'll introduce her a little more in a second, but first, wouldn't be a brew from me without our national days. So it is National Cherry Popsicle Day. It's as straightforward as it sounds. It is also National Dog Day. So if you have a pooch, give it a hug, kiss, or scratch on the back. It is also National Web Mistress Day. Wasn't exactly what I was thinking when I first read web mistress. A web mistress is a woman who designs, develops, markets, and maintains websites. So apparently that's a thing that has its own day. And lastly, it is National Women's Equality Day. And I can't think of a better segue into Juli McNeely than that. Juli is a longtime friend, former NAIFA national president, and also a advisor who had their Real Life Happens story chosen by lifehappens.org. So with that, I'm going to have Danielle cue up the video.
I first met Sam when he was in college. Sam was 6'8" and 320 to 360 pounds. He was a huge teddy bear.
Sam was hilarious. He was a big, bold personality. One of his dreams was to have kids and be a dad.
Sam had life insurance through his employer, but when I found out we were pregnant, we decided that wouldn't be enough.
We sat down and really did a full financial plan and discovered that they needed some additional coverage as their family began to grow.
When Charlie was born, Sam was ecstatic.
Charlie was definitely a joy for them, and in particular, she was a joy for Sam. They were inseparable. She was a daddy's little girl, and he did everything for her. Sam was at work and he started to not feel well. An ambulance was called and he was taken to the hospital.
We got to the hospital and they were already doing resuscitation. He was already gone.
Sam had passed away that morning from a dissected aorta. He was 38 years old.
It never really crossed my mind that we had life insurance. And Juli, of course, came to my rescue like always.
I was grateful that we were going to have enough coverage to make Amy and Charlie comfortable financially. We certainly couldn't take away the emotional pain, but we could at least help financially.
Life insurance policies have allowed us to just live without worry or struggle. I can't stress enough how important it is.
He was a strong man, had a great job, a great family. No one would have ever guessed he would be gone. And he had the right amount of coverage, and that day came.
Sam would be happy knowing that his life insurance policy has helped us get through this. Sam will always be taking care of us.
Every time I see one of those it still pulls at a heartstring, and imagine probably the same for you, Juli.
Oh, without question. I've got a picture of Sam on my wall, and it's a reminder to me every day why we do what we do. So, yeah, it gets me every time as well.
Yeah, and I can only imagine how many times you have seen it going, through the edits and cuts. But that's kind of the point of these Life Happens videos. How has how has, doing this video and your experience, with providing coverage for Sam, not only changed you, but your practice?
Well, I think we often forget the risk side. And in the case of Sam and Amy, Sam was the primary breadwinner, and when he was gone, they lost their income. And without the insurance, Amy would have been forced to change her life drastically. And I was so grateful that day when I actually got to see her after he had passed. I gave her a hug and I was able to say, "You have no worries financially." And she said, "I don't." I said, "Nope, we're going to have it taken care of for you." And she has been able to continue life and be there for her daughter and not have concern with money. And oftentimes I think people get all excited about the investment side of what we do. And I like that side as well. I mean, I'm full financial planning practice, but the risk side is as important, especially when something tragic happens. And so for me, it's just a continuous reminder of why we do what we do, and we need to cover both sides of the house. So if you find yourself, always venturing toward the investment side and never bringing up the insurance conversation with your clients, I would implore you to do that differently going forward, because Sam and Amy did not have enough financial assets to not work any longer. They were still building their retirement nest egg. And without the life insurance, she would have had to drastically change life for both her and her daughter. So.
And how are they doing now?
They're doing well. Charlie is now 10 years old and is stretching out to be a tall young lady. And Amy has been able to continue to stay home with her. She does have some businesses, but has some general managers that run those for her. But she has not had to go back to punching a clock. They're in the same home that they were in when Sam was there, and that has been a comfort to them to know that they can maintain life as they knew it. And financially, they're very secure, and that makes me happy. It helps me sleep at night as well.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being their advisor and not have having suggested insurance and then still being connected, which I'm sure that happens, I'm sure there's times that clients say they don't need it and something happens, and just got to be rough. At least, like you said, you can sleep at night knowing you did the right thing.
Well, I think that's the point of these real life stories. And when you're in the case of Sam, 38 years old, he never would have guessed that he would have gone to work that day and not come home ever again. And these stories are real. I mean, these are not just fictional stories. They are real families. And I think people need to be reminded that life is fragile. And these videos are done specifically so that if you don't have a story in your practice or in your life that you can share with clients, these are meant to be shared. And I think, to see someone at 38 who's strong and healthy be gone in a matter of seconds is a powerful story, and it's a reminder how fragile life is. So the intent of these is to help you share. I will also say we often sometimes forget our own family, and I have had family members who have not taken my advice and or even wanted to talk to me, and something happens to them, and you do have guilt, you do have sadness that you weren't able to get them to move. And I was so grateful that Sam and Amy took that advice, and sad that we had to use the life insurance, but I was really glad it was there.
I can believe it. Do you use the Life Happen videos? I mean, not only this one, but the others in your practice?
I don't use the videos as much, although I do talk about this story often because I can speak to it from my own passion and experience. But I do, we have used the print ads pretty significantly here in our practice, and we'll often use them either in emails or in paper mailers. We're doing less of the paper stuff every day, but we have used them pretty significantly in the past, and they're very powerful, especially during Life Insurance Awareness Month.
And, side note, we do have, some of these materials available that, we can help share or help direct you to the lifehappens.org website and let you know on how you can share it to your clients or prospective clients, and maybe help move that needle. Because as I've said several times, with a pandemic looming, people are more aware of their mortality than they have been potentially ever. And if you look at the industry statistics, more people are buying insurance than they have in a long, long time. And if you're not, presenting to your clients, somebody else, potentially could. Follow-up question, Julie. Any suggestions that you would have, for advisors? Obviously, I think you're by all means one of our standout advisors, and have, truly do a holistic job and offer both the investments and the life, and many other things. Is there any suggestions that you would have out there?
Well, I would also just say, don't be afraid of pressing the issue, especially if you have a personal story you can share. I often share Sam's story. I have another story that I share from the first death claim I ever settled on a policy that I wrote. And it wasn't enough, but it was something. And if you can speak from the heart and the passion of delivering that claim check and seeing the family be able to continue on, even if it wasn't quite enough, I think that is an incredible opportunity. But I think Brendan hit it on the head. I have found many clients during this pandemic have realized that their mortality may not be as far away as they thought. And risk products are now, I'll use the word sexy to talk about, because people are now wanting to talk about it. Now, I wish they would talk about them all the time, but for some reason right now, I think risk products have become, or have been brought to the forefront again. So, please, I implore you to do what you need to do as a financial advisor to make sure their bases are covered, and press maybe a little beyond what you might feel somewhat comfortable with. Sometimes people need to be challenged a little bit on their thought process that they're never going to die, because we know they will. So I would just say, use good stories that you can personalize, and if you don't have them, find some videos like the one you just saw, and then do your job, basically. Press and cover all the bases. Don't let them tell you they don't need it, because we know they do.
All right. Well, before we get to our drawing for attendance today, I will open it up to the field. If anybody has any questions for Julie, now is your chance.
Julie, this is Dan, president here at E4 Insurance Services. We sure thank you for not only the business that you do and how you approach your clients, but also, I know you don't like to be called a legend, but as the first female president of NAIFA National, it's quite an honor to have gotten to know you through times at NALBA and other things that when I first met you. How are you going to increase awareness in your agency this month for September being Life Insurance Awareness Month? Is there anything special you do that you would recommend?
I don't, Dan, because we have life insurance part of every conversation. So where I might be strange if I don't press it harder in September than any other month, but I try to press it every month. So we don't do anything special. We used to do a pretty significant mailing and email during this month, We do flip our social media to include a lot for life insurance awareness in September. But other than that, we just make sure it's part of every conversation. And I don't know, I think as advisors, we have an obligation to lead our clients and not be order takers. And so I would just ask that you, in your normal process, when you meet with clients, make life insurance be part of every single meeting, whether that's a review of what they have or just a reevaluation if they have enough, beneficiary check. I mean, there are so many things you can do to be of value, and life insurance should not be just for September. It should be for every month, and make it part of your conversation and lead your clients.
I think that's great advice, and appreciate that. And those Life Happen videos, we do have, I would just share with everyone on the call, we do have a Life Happens Pro account, so we do have some resources. Actually, on our homepage of the E4 Insurance Services website, we have a video, a virtual quoter, insurance quoter that you could look at, and under Why Life, a lot of these videos, including the one that was shared today, are available on our website. So it is a good reminder. There's a lot of different topics that Life Happen, the real life videos have, from, you know, single parent families to business owners to, you know, the traditional family like Julie, the video addressed. So good stuff out there. And I would encourage everyone, if you don't have access, reach out to us. Danielle Zimbrick in our office can certainly help you with getting resources to better share the story.
Well, thank you, Julie. Danielle, did you want to go to our drawing?
Thanks, Shirley.
Thank you.
Yep, sure. Well, we got everybody in here.
Oh, how about this?
You're gambling, huh?
Well, we just used to announce them, but this is a whole lot better. Jody, congratulations. And Julie, while I've got you, and I know we didn't talk about this, but I thought maybe you'd answer it in one of your questions. Did you want to give a high level on your legacy box?
Sure. We have developed a tool that we are now giving out to our clients for free as part of if they've got a higher net worth with us. But we have found that many people are not as organized as they perhaps should be financially. So we have developed what we call our legacy footprint file. You can get more information at legacyfootprint.net. And it is something you can use the Legacy Footprint brand, or we can actually customize it to your own brand, your own agency or firm brand. So if you want to check it out, you can feel free to do so, but we have had great response from our clients. They are suddenly feeling like they're prepared. Should anything crazy happen, their family will know exactly what to do. So it's been exciting to see that tool become something so valued by our clients. So thanks, Brendan.
My pleasure, Julie. Thank you for being on here. Thank you for everyone attending. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next week in September, Life Insurance Awareness Month. Toodles.